Jules Kroll made a name for himself as a corporate sleuth. Now, the founder of the forensic accounting firm Kroll is turning his sights towards creating a new credit rating firm, and he joins us now. Jules Kroll, welcome to the program. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Why do we need a new credit rating agency?
Well, the whole idea of ratings is very important. It's an intrinsic part of our financial system. It's built into loan obligations. It's built into agreements. It's built into investors needing to understand how to categorize things and to have a common standard. So ratings are needed. Unfortunately, this financial crisis has revealed some terrible inadequacies, and people feel, to say the least, let down and disappointed. And they're looking for new ideas and a new model.
Do you think that the way the credit rating model is set up now presents conflicts of interest?
In some respects it does, but there's been a huge amount of criticism about the ratings agency in terms of it being, for example, an issuer pays model. That is, the issuer who pays for it is the one being rated. And there's the opportunity to, in effect, do some ratings shopping. Seems strange.
Well, you pay for the rating, whichever one is the best rating, that's the one you would end up buying.
Well, there are other issues. You can get a preliminary review, so you know what the rating is in advance as a consulting fee and a separate kind of an arrangement. It's got to change. And I've been working on this now for almost a year. And I've concluded it isn't the issuer pays model that's at fault. What's really at fault is the shopping, and what's really at fault is the people whose money is at risk, the institutional investor, the average investor. They need to take charge of the situation, which is why my proposal is for an investor's owned rating agency, where they'll set the policy regarding credit, regarding compensation, and take charge of it. The issuer will still pay, but what I'm hoping is, in addition to having the traditional ratings from the oligopoly, the big three, they will say, get me a Kroll rating as well.
What about the information that is given to the rating agencies by which they then make their ratings? Is there got to be a change in terms of the input, all of the information? Does there have to be a new sleuthing process that goes on?
Well, there are several things that are key. First of all, there's got to be, that material has got to be made available to others, such as my new agency, which will be open by the end of the first quarter. Secondly, the way the rating agencies have behaved, there was no examination of the assumptions. There was no examination of the facts. The numbers were accepted as they were. And in fact, in the ratings, the legal language says, we have not examined these numbers. We are accepting them as presented to us. Well, we've learned that the emperor sometimes has no clothes. And so one of the things we're going to do is to bring our discipline as investigators and as fact finders to do things in addition to the quantitative work. Unfortunately, the world became too dependent on quantitative models and not enough on experience and common sense and fact finding.
Would that fact finding include, for example, background checks of the individuals involved in various issues?
We are going to look at management. We are going to look at boards. We're going to want to understand the governance and controls. And for that reason, we need the institutional investor support, because they've got to say to issuers, we think it would be a good idea to have fresh sort of thinking in addition to the traditional outfits.